Dear commentators, today we are going to test drive the absolute representative product of performance cars, the new BMW M4 M-Power, which is the essence of BMW. The test drive car we borrowed is the X-Drive Thunder Edition, with a guide price of 943,000 yuan. Hey, this price is really out of reach. As for the front of the car, the overall outline of the new car is basically the same as the old model. But some adjustments have been made in the details, which are listed below. First of all, the structure inside the headlights looks sharper and fuller. In addition, you have to say that now, after getting used to seeing this vertical front grille, it still feels very arrogant. You are driving an M, so you must not be low-key. Then there is the M4 Thunder logo inside. The front bumper area has a huge heat dissipation space, and there are air guides on the left and right sides, which are all necessary for performance cars. Coming to the side of the car body, after all, it is a two-door product, so the visual effect will be more stretched, lower, elegant, and beautiful than the M3. Our test drive car is equipped with a carbon fiber kit. It is expensive, but I think it will be more perfect if the black side skirt below is also made of carbon fiber. That costs extra money. The body length is 4,803 millimeters, and the wheelbase is 2,857 millimeters. These data are not bad for a mid-size car. As for the wheels, it is equipped with 19-inch wheels with golden brake calipers. Look how beautiful it is. Tire data. The front tire is 275 wide, and the aspect ratio is 35. The rear tire is 285 wide, and the aspect ratio is 30. The brand of the tire is Michelin. PSS is very beautiful. Performance cars are equipped with performance tires. There is such a small decorative piece on the front fender. Hey, it is also a symbol of identity. Exterior configuration, panoramic image, carbon fiber exterior mirror housing, keyless entry and frameless doors, perfect. Just now we said that this car has an optional carbon fiber kit, so the roof is all carbon, so be careful when driving. At the rear of the car, the outline of the taillights has not changed much, but the details inside, especially the wave shape, are quite interesting. Yes, it is indeed much more beautiful after lighting up. There is a small carbon fiber rear wing on the top, the size of which can be further increased, and at the bottom, a huge carbon fiber rear diffuser, with 4 exhausts on both sides, showing a temperament tail. Of course there is. After opening it, you won't say that the volume of the trunk is quite practical. It's okay. This is indeed an advantage of performance cars over sports cars. What if you go out to buy some vegetables? What kind of family conditions drive M to buy groceries? From the overall appearance, I think the new BMW M4 has brought the taste of performance cars to a vivid level. Handsome is just one word. I will only say it once. Next time we will get into the car to see the interior. In terms of interior, in fact, the overall layout is basically the same as the new 4 Series. But in terms of details, M4 still has to be called M4. How much does it cost to talk nonsense? It is indeed very combative. First of all, there is a lot of carbon fiber, right? We chose the carbon fiber kit for the sporty style. Not only is it on the outside of the car, but you their car is a toy. I understand they have money, right? And now its theme will be targeted at this kind of driving, and do some more designs, which is definitely exclusive to M targeted. And the air conditioner, you see, it's all touch, or it's voice, you have to adapt to this, it's the trend of the times, there's no way keep up with the times. What about the bottom part? The air conditioning outlet is the same as the new 4 Series, which is a big change. Now it looks like it is not abrupt anymore. Then the ambient light is hidden here, which is quite beautiful at night. Looking down, the touch buttons have some simple defogger and multimedia functions. The cover is made of carbon fiber, and there is a USB 12V cup holder for wireless mobile phone charging. Brother Yuan, let's not get into this. The cup holder is basically out of reach for wireless charging of your phone if you want to use it. Yes, it's not convenient for you to pick up your phone. As for the gear lever, this is a special gear lever for M, which is only available in M Power models. Brother Yuan has peeled off the skin and introduced its operation logic to everyone. This is different from the traditional BMW's chicken leg electronic gear. Let me introduce it. First, push the N gear to the left, and then push it to the left and forward, which is the reverse gear. Then push it to the right, which is the D gear, and then press it again. You can switch between manual and automatic modes. Brother Yuan, I'm sorry, you can understand it with your IQ. And then there is a small button on the P gear, just press it. Well, look at the left side, what are these 3 arrows and 3 bars for? Cadre, this is to adjust its shift logic, this can be adjusted. The more lanes, the more radical the shifting will be, the higher the official position, right? Then the left side, like the start button, is red. The front one is not much different from the ordinary BMW button. The back one is mainly for driving, exhaust sound, and some custom modes. It is okay to use this little red embellishment. The iDrive driving mode knob on the right is nothing special, it's common. What about after the central armrest is opened? The volume inside is not too big or too small, it's quite regular. Then there is a Type-C power port. Type-C, the glove box is definitely flocked, after all, it is so expensive, but the volume is indeed not very spacious. What does this car need the volume for? The door panel is just to put some coffee, some drinks, etc., right? You prepare a seat for your girlfriend. The test drive car is a bucket seat. One is 23,000 yuan. This pair, the optional equipment, is 46,000 yuan. How to say good math? If you have money and have a pursuit of excellence in driving, then you must have a seat. Yes, it's your money anyway, because it supports your body, and it will do better when you run down the mountain track. The overall style is also very combat-like, with the right hollowing and the right stitching of the material. But you can't do anything about comfort. The wings on both sides of the car are lifted up very high, so it will be more stuck on the buttocks. Brother Yuan, the crotch of the pants has carbon, and it is stuck in the balls, right? This is mainly to give your legs a better wrapping, support, clamping, etc., and the front seat has a heating function as standard, and you can also choose ventilation. Oh my, it's almost 1 million, and there is no ventilation. Brother Yang, I remembered a song. Fortunately, I protected my balls in time, and my life in the second half of my life was preserved. Take it easy when braking. Everyone, I don't understand what he said at all. I'm too innocent. Haven't you seen Flirting Scholar? You. Then the M4 is a 4-seater model. It has a second row of seats. It has 2 independent seats. How should I put it? If you move the front row slightly to the second row, an adult can sit within 1.8 meters. It doesn't have any big problems, but after all, it has the M3. If you have certain requirements for the back row, you can choose the M3. If you just treat it as a big toy and have no desire for the back row, just a small pet and a bag, then the M4 is definitely more suitable. It should be said that the back seat is actually okay. You see, the cushion is not short, right? It's just that the space above the head is a little small, and it's not convenient to get in and out of the car. After all, the wheelbase and the overall size are there, so the second row is. The longitudinal space is okay, and it is definitely much better than the BRZ. Brother Yuan, you are really a wise man. Then the overall configuration, we will not talk about the appearance. I said that my car has Hue Moss, dual drive automatic air conditioning, and standard front seat heating. And our test drive car has optional steering wheel heating, and ventilated front seats can also be optional. Just now we said that the Alcantara steering wheel is optional. Then the Elite driving mode, this is the optional Harman Kardon. If I remember correctly, this is standard. Then the main driver has 2 sets of seat memory, and in addition, the same seat, this is an optional appearance, those carbon ceramic brakes, including carbon fiber kits. If you buy this car, you are embarrassed not to choose it? Let me tell you, everything you like in this car is optional. However, if you say it is a 3rd, 4th, or 5th series, we can criticize it for what it is. This is optional, that is optional. But at this level, especially for high-performance cars like this, or models like Porsche, People pursue customization and personalization, which is different from others. Each model is different, and the pursuit is the question of how much money. For users like us who can't afford it, we say there is no such thing, and there is no such thing. For users who can afford it, their suggested price is meaningless. People just customize it by themselves at 1.1 points, and they like you with their heart, you know? Brother Yuan, who are you talking about? You are talking about space and so on. Let's show it too. After all, it has a back seat. Yes, it is a 4-seater car. Hey, this is my standard driving sitting position. Brother Yuan has a very standard height of 1.75 meters for Chinese men, and I am 1.73 meters tall in the back seat. Look at the second row legroom. Brother Yuan, look at the space. It's more than 2 fists, almost 2.5 fists. Well, I just mentioned pets, isn't it me who pokes you in the waist? I poke you in the waist, but this car, because it is a 2-door model, so it is. The whole door is relatively wide, and the front seatbelt is relatively far back, but it doesn't have a push arm for the seatbelt, so every time the driver and the co-driver get in the car to fasten the seatbelt, they need to reach back with extra effort. To protect their waists, don't stretch them. This action doesn't look very elegant. Of course, I'm sure there is no problem with the waist. He said he has a problem. Who said I've been doing well recently? Let's just say so much about the static part, let's drive it. This is still the highlight of this car. Let's go. What about driving? The M4 is now equipped with a 3.0T. The engine is a straight 6-cylinder engine. The transmission part of the straight 6 is matched with an 8-speed gearbox, which is inherited from BMW. How should I put it? We also have 6 cylinders and no loss of status. As for the 4-cylinder, who should I talk about? Everyone knows it in their hearts, right? You should talk about yourself. Then, this car has a maximum power of 390 kilowatts and a peak torque of 650 Newton meters. This data is amazing. The official 0-100 acceleration time is 3.5 seconds. Let's make a statement first. The overall tire condition of our car is relatively general. We tested the best result and ran to 3.6 seconds, which is only a millimeter away from the official result, a difference of 0.1. As long as the tire is in a relatively good condition, I think it is no problem to reach or even exceed the official result. BMW should be trustworthy. And what else? The whole car, this acceleration experience, you think that some electric cars of 300,000 or 400,000 yuan can reach this level, but the joy and happiness it brings are really incomparable to electric cars. Hey, it's the mechanical feeling, the charm of acceleration brought by this mechanical transmission. Whoever drives it knows, yes, and the exhaust sound gives you a very happy feeling. Of course, this kind of happiness needs to be based on the premise of money, and money is really a good thing, so everyone has to work hard to move bricks for this thing. The overall acceleration process shifts the gear very sporty. Each shift is very precise and fast, and the whole acceleration process can be said to be done in one go. Hey, the moment of the crackling ejection is also very powerful. But, after all, this is a bucket chair, and the support for your body is indeed in place. It holds you firmly. Hey, it's clamped very tightly. Then the whole driving mode this car, it is not like the ordinary 3 Series, 4 Series to give you comfort sports plus mode. It is equivalent to, in the base mode, there is a road, a sports, and a track mode. The track mode is very simple. Basically everything is set to sports, and all the electronic controls that can be turned off are turned off for you. But, first of all, let me make a statement. Everyone try to, that is, when the skills are good, we can have this mode on the track, right? For this thing, it is playing to the limit. It is easy to scare people. And this car, it's sports mode, road mode, the overall difference is there. But don't still imagine it's road mode as you drive an ordinary 3 Series or 4 Series, so soft, so comfortable. It is not that style. It's quite radical. This thing is M-Power. In addition, you can also adjust the engine, chassis, steering, brakes, 4-wheel drive, and traction in each mode. Basically, when I'm commuting, I'll emphasize the most comfortable mode, the standard mode, which looks like it doesn't have comfort. Do you think this most comfortable mode is suitable for commuting? What about it? It is definitely okay, but it is not as well understood as everyone else. The real meaning of the word comfortable is still different, far away. The overall chassis still has a very clear and hard road feel, and the steering is not so tight. As for the power call, I also switched the gear shifting logic of the gearbox to the most comfortable mode, which is actually okay, but if you change the gear shifting logic a little, the overall will be much more radical. But M4 is still M4 in the most comfortable situation, as long as you. When you step on the floor gas, oh, it immediately makes Brother Zhong fall down. And this guy didn't even say hello to me in advance. The overall power is still very strong and powerful, and the elite driving mode, there are 2 modes, you can adjust and DIY by yourself. Whenever you switch to the most violent mode, it will directly turn off the electronic control. Then you can also adjust the traction yourself. On the road, we don't need to use it if we can. It is indeed too radical. You have to pay attention to safety. And after it switches to the economic driving mode, it first gives priority to you to choose this. Manual mode, of course, this is how to say it. It has something to do with your personal driving ability, and there are some thresholds. If you are not good at it, just switch it to the automatic mode. In the automatic mode, it is the full mode. You see just now, wow, 876543 jumped directly. How to say this? The speed reduction is really too fast. Yes, it even reduced several gears. I won't drive for such a long time. Otherwise Brother Zhong is afraid that he will vomit at night. I will get you all over, and it is not appropriate for me to vomit all over. Is that right? I don't know what he ate last night. What if it tasted strange? What if the noodles were steamed bread slices dipped in stinky tofu? Am I going to suffocate you? Indeed, this car is very comfortable on this kind of track. In terms of power, the 6-cylinder engine matches the 8-AT gearbox perfectly. This 8-AT is quite amazing. As for the brake part, our car is equipped with this carbon blade brake. How can I describe this brake? If you want to say that the brake feels like a heavy brake in the extreme control, the foot feel of the force must be very, very good, but it is relatively. It is very sensitive to temperature. You must let it reach the appropriate working temperature. It's just average. When we test this kind of civilian car, the braking performance is usually good in the second or third step, and then it starts to heat up and the heat decays. However, this car is not like that. It may be that the braking performance starts to build up from the order of 456. The best result we tested was 36 meters when the tires were not very good. Hey, it is already an excellent level. But this carbon blade brake will produce some small abnormal noise when it is cold and the temperature is not high. If you have never driven this kind of car, how can you feel it? Oh, what kind of car is this? It has pro brakes and high performance, so why is there an abnormal noise? No, it is not the way it is. It is inevitable when it is low temperature. That's it. Basically, if you buy these performance cars or supercars on the market, this kind of car, it will basically have this brake state in low temperature, and it will be okay when the temperature rises. You can wait patiently for it for a while, and the overall brake feel is also very, very powerful, giving you strong confidence. As for the steering feel, don't say it, use this most comfortable mode. It is quite light, not very competitive at least for a small dog like a Zhong. I think it is not a big problem to use it for daily transportation. Small dog buddy is a small dog. You should have a better understanding of yourself. Don't spread this kind of thing, okay? And then when you are commuting, you just don't feel so tense, and feel that the steering is so sensitive that it makes you nervous all the time. But when you turn on this elite driving mode and adjust it to the most sporty mode, the steering feels very, very powerful. Moreover, its steering ratio is much smaller than that of the ordinary 3 Series and 4 Series, and the entire steering is very sensitive. The front of the car moves with the steering wheel, and the rear of the car also has a very strong follow-up. When the front of the car goes in, it feels like the rear of the car follows it. Look at how agile it is. As for the chassis, the front is a double ball joint McPherson. The rear is a multi-link, and it also has an adjustable suspension. As we said just now, even in the most comfortable mode, it is still very hard. Yes, but it won't make your head hurt. That's not the case. For models like M3, M4, it can still meet some of the needs of daily urban transportation. Then the rest, Sport and Sport Plus, depends on whether you are running on the track or running in the mountains, or what, it depends on your personal needs, as for the support and the overall feeling. Wow, that's it. It's a piece of iron, isn't it? Brother Yuan, the word some just now was used very well. Isn't it mainly because our description is accurate? This beautiful Chinese language is profound and extensive. The support of the entire chassis on the track, including the longitudinal and lateral support of the swing back, is very, very in place. The coordination between the entire chassis and the steering is also very tight. You feel very confident in the corners, and the rear axle also has LSD. If we have better skills, practice left foot braking, practice tracking braking, etc., you can better control its load transfer in the corner, so that when the tracking brake is used, the front of the car can be better and earlier in the direction of the exit, and you can open the throttle earlier. Hey, Brother Yuan's words reflect the professionalism of our brothers. It must be professional, right? You have been a review editor for more than 10 years. Are you still cursing? Hey, I was inspired. After all, I am 3 years younger than you. What's 3 years old? What's 3 years old? Is that what I call it mature, and you are steady, right? Hey, do you think your energy is steady? Let's take a look at the NVH. You can't have too high expectations, because after all, this is not the type of car, and you have to listen to the sound, right? You can only feel it when you listen to it. Another thing, If you pile up a lot of NVH materials, then the lightweight can't be maintained. Now, you can actually see the BMW M series. Its car weight is also heavier than the previous generation, because there is no way, safety regulations, and the entire powertrain will become heavier, and everyone wants more and more configurations, which is already becoming heavier and heavier. If you pile up a lot of materials in the NVH, it's actually a bit hard to hold. Yes, it may not reach the essence of the M. And it is very likely that this generation of M3 M4 is the last generation. It does not have this electric model, and I may add plug-in hybrids in the future, which is very likely. In fact, I still hope that it can keep its original intention. Let's keep the bottom line of the 6-cylinder, right? Can't throw it away. It doesn't matter whether there is an electric one or not. It doesn't matter. It leaves some fantasy for those rich young men. Then can you see it? This car, now in the level of high-performance cars, whether in the European market or in the domestic market, M-Power M3 M4, its sales are absolutely far ahead, absolutely ahead of the RS, and the same level of AMG products. This is the charm of BMW in China. You look at some racetracks, rich people go to the racetrack, then except for the little bastards. That is BMW's M-Power. You look at some videos of the Nürburgring, isn't that the most? Yes. M-Series and Xiaobaba. Hey, blue sky and white clouds attract people. Xiaobaba is too expensive. M3 M4 is relatively more affordable than them, but it has extremely strong performance, and the number of cylinders and appearance are guaranteed. Why do you say appearance hits yourself in the face? Mainly appearance. Ours has two meanings. One is beautiful, the other is face, right? Hey, yes, mainly face. You can explain to everyone the face of Wawawa. The Wawawa in Brother Yuan's mouth is Shiji. That one is too expensive, but ours in a reasonable, not reasonable, in a relatively lower budget than Wawawa, a little cheaper, extremely strong performance, absolutely. As for this car, we won't make a summary. There's no need. People buy it just because they like it. Its performance, yes, we are not qualified to make a summary, right?